fast. This is really what the players want. To get on the move and to get out onto that rain-soaked pitch. The first ever all-Merseyside Cup final. The first final here on a Sunday. And a roar the like of which you've rarely heard before. For football everywhere. Here's the Everton side. In goal, Neville Southall, Gary Stevens at number 2, John Bailey at 3, the captain Kevin Ratcliffe at 4, Derek Mountfield 5, Peter Reid 6, Alan Irvine. That was the late decision whether he should play or not, and Howard Kendall wasn't sure right up until the last 24 hours whether to play him or whether to play Andy King or whether to play Trevor Stephen. But number 7, Alan Irvine, number 8, Adrian Heath, 9, Graham Sharp, 10, Kevin Richardson, 11, Kevin Sheedy, and the substitute, Alan Harper. And what familiar names we have coming up here. Bruce Grobbelaar, number 2, Phil Neal, 3, Alan Kennedy, 4, Mark Lawrenson, 5 is Ronnie Whelan, 6, Alan Hansen, 7, Kenny Dalglish, 8 is Sammy Lee, 9, Ian Rush, at 10, Craig Johnston, and 11, their captain, Graham Souness, with the substitute, Michael Robinson. So it's Liverpool then who'll be kicking off. All red strip, Everton in blue shirts with white shorts. Liverpool attacking the goal to the right, the 1984 Milk Cup final. The first all-Merseyside Wembley occasion is underway. And Lawrenson gets it back for an immediate touch from the extrovert Bruce Grobbelaar. That's Hansen. Neal. Souness. Neal. Reid certainly made his presence felt early on. I think the points that Everton felt in that 3 weeks ago when they drew 1-1 against Liverpool at Goodison Park, they squeezed Liverpool as much as they could either side of the halfway line by pushing their back four forward, which they've done now. But you have to fear then for the speed of rush with the ball carried through to Southall. And to play an offside, for example, against the likes of Rush would be a terribly dangerous thing to do. Bailey. Sharp. It's 2 good balls he's won in the air, but Heath and Grobbelaar has missed it. And was that a handball? The referee looked towards the lineman, and Everton are claiming furiously that was a handball. And Heath came so close to giving Everton a surprise lead, and you saw the sign there from the referee, or the linesman rather, saying it came off his leg, and it looked a handball to me, Brian.
I think it just might have finished in the back of the net.
That was a handball.
From where I'm sitting, definitely.
But here come Everton again with Sheedy's shot, and it's wide.
I'm not saying it's intentional, but it did hit his hand.
Well, a critical moment, that one, as the corner is about to be taken. It was Grobbelaar who didn't get it, Heath who tried to get it, and it came off Hansen, and we feel it came off his hand. But as Brian said, it may not have been intentional.
But it would have been a goal.
But it would have been a goal. And the linesman, I think, indicated it hit the leg. Sharp's header. Souness getting it away. And Liverpool under a little bit of pressure then with 9 minutes gone. And the score 0-0. And a few little worried brows on that Liverpool bench. Lawrenson's header falls for Irvine. Richardson. Stevens. Moving again towards Heath, but there are taller men there. And a shot into the side netting again by Kevin Richardson that left very little room to spare. And Everton in these opening minutes are making the running. Caught on the volley, Robillard diving, side netting, goal kick. The Everton bench there looking determined. Colin Harvey on the right there alongside Howard Kentle. They played a few games for Everton between them in the midfield. And Sheedy with the shot, and it came off Lawrenson, and it could have gone anywhere. And as luck would have it for Liverpool, it stayed out and goes for the throw.
I'm absolutely staggered how many times the Liverpool defence have already been beaten in the air.
This will do good for Everton. Sheedy getting it in again, sharp up there this time. And Richardson trying to get the shot in. Gary Stevens trying to get in as well. And it's not running for Liverpool, but now it is as it comes to Souness. A touch on for Johnston. And Bailey brings him down, and it's a free kick. I read in one newspaper this morning, one or two managers who'd beaten Liverpool. One or two of them said that you very often with Liverpool get a chance early on, and Everton have had those chances in this game today, Brian. But here are Liverpool. That's Souness with a shot, and Southall with the save now. And that might get them down to business. Strikes such a beautiful ball, and Southall well behind it. Mountfield getting under this one, challenged by Rush. It falls for Kenny Dalglish. Rush being pursued out there by Mountfield. Reed is in there, did well to Rush there. Dalglish turning it back, and Johnston just over the top. Very nearly making something out of nothing there, and in fact Rush's contribution away on the far side, getting that back with the pass there was absolutely superb. Dalglish took it up, a beautiful little chip. Here comes Craig Johnston, and a goal kick to Everton. Dalglish towards Rush, played on towards Craig Johnston, nicely into his stride. Here comes Southall again, and a goal kick. No, a corner given. That looked to come off Craig Johnston, but the referee was fairly close to it. Set a corner. Dalglish will take it. Rush, Johnston and Lee are in there, but not many people have come up from the back. Phil Neal's the only one. Whelan's now making a little run into the box. And Dalglish plays it wide here for Kennedy. Back again for Kenny Dalglish. Left foot cross there. And in the end, Richardson couldn't be sure what was around him, decided that the safest thing would be to provide Liverpool with another corner. So, Rush looking for this to be the moment to make the breakthrough, but the ball comes out to Souness. In again for Johnston, turned behind, and off Ratcliffe for another corner. Again, Rush and Johnston in there, Whelan and Dalglish. But Hanson and Lawrenson have stayed back. Lee with this one again. Comes to Souness. Oh, and there was a slack moment there involving Gary Stevens, in point of fact, that very nearly allowed Liverpool to get in. But it's another corner. Liverpool's sixth. Everton have had so far two. So Mountfield's turn to look a little bit worried as Lee takes the corner. Ronnie Whelan with the header. And it was Mountfield who got it away. Liverpool's throw. Best spell of sustained pressure that Liverpool have had in the game so far. 0-0 with half an hour gone. Souness. Now Kennedy, left foot, driven well, but wide. Souness, rush. Everton's throw. Taken quickly by Bailey, Sharp on his way. Heath waiting in the middle. Still with Sharp. And a shot that was curling awkwardly, and Heath almost got in.
Goalkeeper did remarkably well then.
The keeper. It was moving a bit, Brian.
Yes, that might have taken a deflection, and it certainly swerved. Did very well there.
So again, Everton nearly get a breakthrough, but not quite. It remains at 0-0, but Everton now get their third corner of the game. Irvin with it. Filled in. Neil away. Sheedy playing it away for Irvin once more. Kennedy's come across to mark it. Room to get the cross in, but hits Souness. It's a throw to Liverpool. Heath again. Reed is in there. Sharp is in there. Neil was happier to get it away almost anywhere to the full-back, in fact, Gary Stevens. And then he tried to run it through Whelan, and it falls for Lee. Now for Ronnie Whelan, and here come Liverpool again. Johnston. Lee. Whelan's made a good break from the back. Made a good contact. But sadly for him goes for John Bailey of Everton. Neil first to react to that one. Souness supporting. Lawrenson. Kennedy. Dalglish. Dalglish straight to Peter Reed. That's not a bad little run by him, but the pass left something to be desired, although they just kept it in, thanks to Graham Sharp. Sheedy. Look at this for confidence again. Reed. Then, Sheedy. Sheedy now, with a chance to make it and fails. That was a golden opportunity for Everton. And Sheedy really should have made it count. Slight misunderstanding there again, Liverpool in that defence. Neil couldn't stop him. Sheedy looked up, didn't really clout it properly, and Grobbelaar was down. Now Souness. Again, the chances are falling Everton's way. It's 0-0, but here's Whelan right up there from Dalglish's pass. And another corner. First half left. Here's Kennedy. And now Lee. Hit from a long way out. Johnston. Very nearly came off Mountfield and could so easily have been an own goal. Instead, it's a corner.
This is the risk you run when you pack your penalty area. Any deflections, absolutely vital.
Kennedy over the top, and they didn't pick him up. Liverpool, having been frightened by the chance that came Sheedy's way, are biting back. But straight at Whelan. Challenged well by Stevens, but it falls for Kennedy again. Rush is there with a header and a good one, finding Dalglish. What a lovely touch by Dalglish for Ronnie Whelan. And it comes off Southall's legs, behind for the corner. That was vintage Liverpool. They looked for a while as though they were struggling. 2 or 3 excellent, well-timed passes, good skill, and the shot coming off the legs of Southall. Neil finding Kennedy. Now Dalglish. That's another corner.
First little skirmish we've seen now with Souness, inevitably Souness.
Dalglish with the corner. Played wide again. Souness hitting it, and a wicked deflection, I think, off Gary Stevens. And Southall, thinking the ball was going to go wide, suddenly had to make a save. It was Dalglish with that corner, hit there on the volley by Souness, and there was the deflection. Getting time added on. Can Liverpool strike at this so psychological moment? Dalglish battling with Richardson, and Richardson gets the better of him. And it's going to be an Everton throw. The referee has looked at both linesmen, and both have signalled that the time is up at the end of the first half. Ratcliffe, the long ball forward. They'll come back because the half-time whistle has gone in this all-Merseyside Wembley occasion. Everton, having made the better chances probably, and certainly had more of the game territorially. The half-time score then here at Wembley: Everton 0, Liverpool 0. Well, it's Everton then who get us away at the start of the second half, attacking the goal to our right. Remember, they're the team in the white shorts, blue shirts, playing here on a Sunday, and in fact, appropriately, they began as a Sunday school team back in 1878. Throw to Liverpool, which Kenny Dalglish will take. Everton having beaten Chesterfield and Coventry in the very last minute, incidentally, of that game. West Ham, Oxford and Aston Villa to get here. Heath playing it in. A clumsy clearance there by Mark Lawrenson. And Craig Johnston just keeps it in for Kenny Dalglish, and again just keeps it in. Stevens now playing it in for Peter Reid. Kevin Richardson hitting it, and Sharp unable to control it. Liverpool getting here by way of Brentford, Fulham, Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday, and Little Walsall in that semi-final. Sammy Lee. Neil playing it in. It finds Rush. Souness. Dalglish. Ratcliffe, who got it away. Souness. Popping up everywhere at the start of this second half is Souness. Such an influential player for Liverpool, but now it's Kennedy. All the way, Kennedy! And just wide! He scored here in '81 against West Ham. He got the first one last year against Manchester United. And it looked... odds were shortening all the time that he would open the scoring here. Ratcliffe stumbling, Southall diving, and the ball just going wide. And what a character this John Bailey is. If Liverpool have got their Bruce Grobbelaar to keep their spirits high, then Bailey certainly does the same in the Everton camp. Here he is again. Sharp. Heath, a nice little backward flick. And Sheedy was almost onto it. And again, Everton are showing that they are winning a large proportion of balls in the air against this Liverpool defence. And of all people, the fellow there, 5'6", Adrian Heath putting it on, and Sheedy just failing to get the touch that really counted. Adrian Heath, number 8. Hansen. Again, Ratcliffe there first. He's had a storming game at the back for Everton. Kennedy. There's Lee on the far side. Tempting Johnston to get forward, and a good jump by Bailey. It looked as though it might just nick over his head, but he was determined that it shouldn't. Lee now for Souness. And now for Neil. Here's Whelan. Neil again for Liverpool. And now Lee. Dalglish. Oh, and touched away by Southall. That might have just crept in at the far post. And the Welsh keeper from Everton just had to get that touch that mattered. Dalglish, having knocked it up, hit it on the volley, and there's the touch that puts it behind for the corner. So Liverpool's corner. Dalglish with it. Oh, Kennedy, and they haven't picked him up again. And my word, how did that stay out? Rush was 2 yards off the line. I don't think he knew a lot about it, but somehow it contrived to bounce in front of him. And agonisingly for him, look at that, over the crossbar. Brian, what can you do? And Celtic now, I gather, have pulled one back at Hampden Park. Rangers 2, Celtic 1. Lee beating Bailey, finding Johnston. Whelan has made the big run forward for Liverpool. And Kenny Dalglish does touching it through. Souness held at bay though by Mountfield in a very important moment, that in the Everton defence. Whelan made a tremendous charge, him with the throw. Here's Kennedy. Phil Neal. Kennedy onto the right foot, no trouble for Southall. Halfway through the second half now. Johnston, little touch for Dalglish, another little touch for Ronnie Whelan, and Rush saved superbly by Southall. The flag was up on the far side, and the referee waving it on again, but you cannot take it away from Neville Southall. Played in there for Rush, point-blank save. Both subs warming up. Michael Robinson in the red tracksuit of Liverpool, Alan Harper of Everton. Ratcliffe, Lee, touch wide for Phil Neal. Little flick in for Dalglish in a bit of space. Maybe enough for him to make a bit of mischief. Finds Alan Kennedy, rifled it in amongst the press photographers, and a goal kick. Substitution now being made. Alan Harper comes on. A former Liverpool player. 3 weeks ago he scored against Liverpool for Everton at Goodison Park that made it 1-1, and Kevin Sheedy, who was doubtful all week with a damaged ankle, goes off. Well, he's a fullback, Alan Harper, but he can play midfield, and that's where he's gone now. The right-hand side of midfield, just as he did at Goodison Park 3 weeks ago. Hansen. Souness. Lee. Chip in again. Again a good jump by Bailey. Irvin playing it into Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe in turn finding Harper, and there's a substitute for Sheedy. It's a good long ball, and Grobbelaar coming out, deciding he's going to run back with it. Oh, goodness, if you're a Liverpool fan, your heart must have been in your mouth for a moment. One little moment of clumsiness then, and that could have been the most embarrassing own goal ever at Wembley, I would have thought. But Grobbelaar was equal to it. Changed his mind, could have got caught on this treacherous pitch. Here's Lee. Heath. Harper's chasing with fresh legs, but Grobbelaar's out again first. What about that for a clearance? Ratcliffe there, Souness there, a touch for Johnston. And straight at Neville Southall. Well, it's 0-0 here. Harper, a short ball to young Derek Mountfield. Over to John Bailey. Bailey played forward for Heath, and again he wins it in the air. Can Sharp get on his way now? Just wide! Grobbelaar was wrong-footed for a moment, and Heath, and I've said it before, is only 5'6", and he's won the ball again in the air there against Lawrenson. And Sharp couldn't quite tuck it home. The last few seconds of normal time now. And another Everton throw. Fancy we might get some real fun and games to round the whole afternoon off if we go to extra time. Well, let's see what happens. Stevens puts the ball in, and Lovren was very nearly there. Had he connected with that, I don't think Grobbelaar would have seen it. Neil away.
Not very often Neil gets caught flat-footed, but he was certainly caught flat-footed there. He got no idea the Everton player was coming in on his blind side, and it only needed to make contact.
And we go to extra time. 0-0. Just have this short break and both managers coming on. And Graham Souness get his men going in the same vein as they showed for much of the second half when they looked for a time as though they might take over this final. Or will it be still the day for the underdogs from Everton to surprise everybody and redress a lot of the balance on Merseyside, with Liverpool having won so much over the last decade and Everton nothing? We shall see. There are 30 minutes of extra time, 15 minutes each way. Neil. Lee, the first touch for Robinson. So both the substitutes are on now, of course. Harper for Everton and Robinson for Liverpool. Rush. Robinson. Souness. It's a nice ball played with the outside of the boot to Ronnie Whelan, who didn't control it all that well, but still finds Alan Kennedy. Harper getting it back. It's Mountfield who got it away, not very far, only as far as Souness, the little chip coming in there. Kennedy's in there. Rush is right in there. Bailey is there and just nicked it away for Everton, but I think might have been injured as he did so. No, he's okay. He's hobbling a little bit. Souness with Richardson trying to shove him off the ball. Kennedy again, trying to get it onto the left foot. In the end, it comes through for Southall. And you can see Bailey just in the corner of the picture there, hobbling a little bit, as he just nicked that ball away when it began to look a little ominous for Everton. Heath, very active, got in quickly towards Sharp, but it didn't come through to Irvine either. Bailey, playing a good little ball through there for Kevin Richardson. Sharp's waiting if he can get to him. Grobbelaar reaching for that one. Rush. Stopped by Bailey. Rush still on his way. Finding Dalglish. Neil on his feet again. The linesman was flagging and the whistle went. I think Liverpool on that occasion might have preferred an advantage to have been played, although in fairness to the referee, he's played a few very good ones today. It's Neil with the free kick. Lee. Neil. Oh, tremendous save, and Robinson almost got to it. Rush hit a glorious shot there, and Southall made the save of the day. Tremendous shot and a brilliant save. Southall spotting very quickly some space on that right-hand side for Stevens. Heath after this one, and there's Grobbelaar doing his full back act.
You certainly get your money's worth out of him. I'm telling you, you couldn't dislike the lad to save his life, because he puts every single thing in, and he's that versatile, it's incredible.
Well, let's see whether he can save now from Sharp, and he can. He's won some useful stuff in the air, as Graham Sharp, Brian, today.
Yes, right from 2:30 they've been having problems, the Liverpool back four in the air, and normally they don't have any. Hansen and Lawrence are normally very dominating.
Ratcliffe dominating there for Everton. Souness doing some good work in the midfield. A nice little nick on that time by Robinson for Rush. He couldn't quite get it back, though. And Richardson will claw the ball away for Everton. Sharp now. under challenge from Lawrence, and still finds Ratcliffe, and there's a lovely ball by Ratcliffe for Heath. Now can Everton make something of this? They've got 3 up. Heath still leading the charge, and obstructed right on the edge of the box. An indirect free kick. Now can Everton come up with something from this free kick? Now this is where ours on the training ground might pay off for them. It was an obstruction, it's an indirect free kick. Grobbelaar lining up his wall. And Reed is over the ball. There's the wall. Reed played it now. And across the face of the goal from Ratcliffe. Goal kick. Hansen. Souness, bit of space. Dalglish let it run, thinking that Rush was there. Well, he was, but so too was Gary Stevens. Sammy Lee crossing the ball in. Rush on the far side with the header, and behind for the goal kick. Well, certainly Wembley Cup finals and Milk Cup finals, FA Cup finals, there is a history of extra time being played of late, I must say. No surprise. But will we get a replay? Harper with the cross. Sharp, nodding it back down. And can they put it in there? Oh, my word. Phil Neal put his hand to his mouth because he realised how nearly he put the ball into his own net. And now Grobbelaar's made a mess of it, and so too has Irvin, when a sensible ball crossed in with the keeper out. Well, who knows what rewards that might have brought for Everton. Sharp played it down nicely there for Heath. Grobbelaar didn't know where he was. And in the end, Phil Neal just got it back to his goalkeeper. And the 15 minutes, first period of extra time is up. The trainers and managers are not allowed onto the field. And the Queen Mother seems to be enjoying it. Alongside her in the spectacles, the Everton chairman, Phil Carter. So it's a quick change around now, and 15 minutes to go, separating us from a replay at Main Road on Wednesday. They've suffered a bit on the bench today, I would think, Brian, and you know all about that.
It's not very easy sitting there when there's so much at stake.
Well, now Everton get us away, attacking the goal to our right, 0-0. Stevens. Whelan, Dalglish, came off Stevens, Liverpool's throw. And Whelan's off on his chase. But again, the blue shirts are equal to him, and then Reed gives it away. Whelan, the flag is up, it won't count. Everton would have been cursing themselves if it hadn't been for offside, because it was an absolute giveaway on their own penalty area, of all people, by Peter Reed there. Dispossessed by Rush, played through to an offside Ronnie Whelan. Flag is up, the whistle had gone, and the goal was ruled out. 0-0. Good jump by Hansen. Battling back at the expense of a free kick. He's a bit of an enigma, actually, this Alan Irvin, Brian, as you probably know, that he came down from Scotland with he's got a lot of skill about him, but they just can't get him fired up for the big game somehow.
I'm not sure if they don't know which is his best position.
Maybe. Souness trying to hold off Ratcliffe, which is what Rush has tried to do all afternoon. Neal planting it in once more. Rush. Oh, goodness, if he caught that properly, there would be no hope for Everton. But again, he fumbled it a bit. And behind for the goal kick.
Good cross, beautiful cross. and the Everton defenders hanging off there, so close to goal, could have cost them the game.
Gary Stevens with the free kick for Everton. Floated towards Heath. Sharp. Touching it away. Stevens again. Harper's gone wide. Played in once more. Will Ratcliffe get there? Oh, and now is a great chance coming up for Liverpool. Rush is offside though. The flag is up for offside. It'll count for nothing. Great though the run of Kennedy's. The flag is up for offside. Way, way back. The anguish there of Kennedy, who I think genuinely felt that he was a goal scorer and a winner. Rush, who felt that it was okay, and I think it was only a yard or so inside the Everton half. But the flag went up instantly, and the goal is ruled out. Robinson. Souness. Lawrenson. He's gone past Richardson. Not a bad ball there for Robinson. Can he get his cross in? He can, but again, Ratcliffe is there. Sammy Lee's coming in quickly, but Reed got there first. Lee went tumbling, and Everton are striding forward again. Heath away on the far side. Now Heath, well, he looked to be limping, but he's pulled down there. No free kick. Neil took the ball, says referee Robinson. And we're heading, it seems, for a replay at Main Road. But as Brian says, it only takes a second to score a goal. Souness. Indeed. And here's Robinson. Oh, well stopped again that time by Bailey. What a good and important challenge that was.
Brilliant tackle, but his wrong foot as well. If he'd mistimed the tackle, he'd have given the penalty away.
Just a little touch that was enough. The last minute of extra time. Rangers 3, Celtic 2 is the final score in Scotland. Fairly jubilant at the moment. I think so many people expected Liverpool to win this game today. Unless they do it dramatically in the last seconds, Everton have held them well and in fact have made some really good chances themselves. In its way, a very honourable draw it might be for this first All-Merseyside final. Or are Liverpool yet going to have a say about it as Sammy Lee goes back there, but the little ball played back towards Robinson didn't look like reaching him, and Richardson was in to get it back safely to Southall. With Southall, we're now playing time added on at the end of those 15 minutes. Alan Robinson is looking at his watch, and the whistle has gone, and it's 0-0, and the teams will have to meet again at Main Road, Manchester on Wednesday evening. Always something of an anti-climax when a cup final finishes goalless, and it has to be replayed again. Southall, who made some remarkably good saves for Everton, and Everton, who certainly in the first half at any rate made the better chances, but defended well and resolutely throughout, particularly during a period in the second half when Liverpool looked as though they were going to get thoroughly on top. Johnston goes off, thoroughly upset it would seem, unless he's carrying an injury, but Brian seemed to think not, as he goes off the field. A little upset with his Wembley appearance today when he was pulled off and substituted by Michael Robinson. And the Everton players going up. Well, they battled well today. A lot of credit to Everton today, Brian.
I think they will regard it as a moral victory. Their fans are certainly delighted. because they came with a little bit of apprehension in their hearts. They're taking on the mighty Liverpool side, European champions, league champions. So the fact that they've battled out 90 minutes plus extra time and still not conceded, and they will regard it as a brilliant result.
And nobody really played better for them than their captain, who gave a marvellous exhibition of defensive play.
Incredible match he's had. He's taken on the best striker in the country, and he kept him subdued for most of the game. And the other young centre-half played well also.
Derek Mountfield, yes indeed. Alan Harper goes through. John Bailey, who we saw, that's symbolic as well. He had a red Liverpool scarf and a blue one of Everton. Bailey, who made that marvellous challenge right at the end. And Liverpool, they've trodden this path so often, and probably will tread it many more times to come. In the light raincoat there, their chairman, John Smith, Kenny Dalglish, and Ronnie Whelan. And Howard Kendall. The first time ever the two managers have been up at the end of a Milk Cup final, also to get a word with the guest of honour. And certainly it's been a marvellous Wembley occasion, and it's great to see both sides going off, and such good comradeship on the field of play. The two goalkeepers there, Southall and Grobbelaar, who both in their own rights made some really spectacular saves to make sure that the game finished goalless.